Hello there hunters and welcome to Yharnam. Recently on the forums, the Bloodborne subreddit and elsewhere, I've been seeing a lot of people picking up the game for the first time, or returning to it and having some trouble with the early game bosses. So I figured I'd make this quick guide to show you how to clear these early hurdles and get stuck into the game. You can see here I'm picking the professional class. I think this is going to be a Bloodtinge playthrough. But don't worry, the strategy shown in the video can be used at base level with any stats from any starting class, so it will always be applicable to however you want to build your hunter. The main focus of this guide is going to be on finding and using consumable items to exploit the weaknesses the early game bosses have to make them a breeze. From is pretty generous in handing the player the tools they need to make the bosses of each area much easier, so long as you know where to get them and when to use them, but not so forthcoming with information on how to exploit boss weaknesses and special modifiers. So here we are, Central Yharnam. Probably my favourite area in the game. I think it's so well designed and laid out. I started loads of runs and just cleared the first bit of the game and started over. As you clear through the first area, just make sure to pick up the quicksilver bullets, blood vials and Molotov cocktails before climbing the ladder. I'm going to fast forward through bits where there aren't many important items to save time. I don't want this guide to drag on much longer than 20 minutes or so, but I wanted to show the route I take in the early game to help out some of the viewers who may be brand new to the game. So, to start, weapons. They don't matter, pick whatever weapon you like. We're going to be going after the Sword Spear as our very first priority, so feel free to pick any weapon and gun combination you feel like, grab the journal and head back into Central Yharnam. So like I said, we're going to be going after the Sword Spear. It's a really powerful weapon for PvE content in Bloodborne for a couple of reasons. It has a safe moveset, great reach, but most importantly it has a hidden property, a modifier really, in that it's a serrated weapon in both forms. Make sure you pick up the Molotovs here, we'll need those later. So, serrated weapons. Serrated weapons do bonus damage to beasts, of which all 4 of the early game bosses we're discussing in this guide are, and a 20% damage increase against bosses can make a huge difference in the early game. A couple of the starting weapons also have this property, but the Sword Cleaver is only serrated in its untricked form, and the Threaded Cane is only serrated in its tricked form, which limits them a bit. If you're wondering what I mean by tricked, it's this. Pressing L1 and transforming your weapon gives them a different moveset and different properties. Make sure you pick up the Bloodstone Shards on the right here. Bloodstone Shards are used to upgrade your weapons, which in the early game grants a much higher increase in damage than levelling stats will. It's possible to get a +2 weapon before fighting any bosses if you find all the blood shards I'll highlight in this video, which makes them much easier. As well as serrated weapons, another key weakness of beasts, as we can see on this lovely pyre, is fire. That's why those Molotov cocktails we picked up earlier come in so handy, as well as things like fire paper. I'm just going to fast forward a little here until we've cleared this courtyard out. And we're back. So make sure you check on the left here behind these barrels for another Bloodstone Shard. From a sneaky putting that loot over there to make you run straight past it. We can usually get a +1 weapon before fighting any bosses, sometimes a +2 if we're lucky with drops, so we need to make sure we pick up every one we can find. Behind these crows we'll find some oil urns, which boost the next instance of fire damage a target takes by a large amount. Combining these with the Molotov cocktails we found earlier lets you do a big chunk of a boss's HP without having to even get close. And they're especially good against beast bosses. Run over and kill the giant here for 4 more Molotov cocktails. If you head back up this staircase to the left here, and behind these coffins you'll find a shortcut. You'll find loads of cages with dogs in. One of them breaks out and attacks you. I don't know if the others do or not, but better safe than sorry, and they give some free echoes anyway. Pick up this item on the left here, and then head over the bridge and kill the dog facing the NPC's house. We don't have anything to say to her at the moment though, so we can just head past. If you look on your right here behind the barrels, there's a doorway. You'll drop down and see two items hanging from chains, one of which is our prize, the sword spear. Make your way along these rafters to the left, nice and careful now, and cut down the item on the chain here. If you're worried about falling off the edge cutting it down, transform your weapon and cut it like this. Oops, let me try that again. Here we are. Just do an R2 attack and you can knock it down safely. Run over to the other side and do the same again here. And then if you look behind you, you'll see another doorway here, and if you walk out, you'll see your first NPC, Eileen. Now we'll drop down and clear out the room below and the enemies outside. I'll speed this up a bit and catch you on the other side. Right then, now that everything's cleared out, we can drop down to our right here, kill the rats, and grab the sword spear. Make sure you pick up the Madman's Knowledge here, and use it before you head back to the dream. You need to have at least one insight when you head back, otherwise the doll will still be asleep and you won't be able to level up. Head back up the ladder, and now drop down on the opposite side and pick up the bloodstone shards. Head back out into the sewer and climb the ladder one more time, but don't go back inside. Make your way around the upper path here and collect any loot you may have missed. This is also probably a good time to equip the sword spear. I forgot to here, but we'll be using it exclusively for the rest of the guide. If we head on over to the other side of the path here, behind these two crows we'll find another two oil urns. And then just make your way to the top of this little ledge here. Drop down nice and careful, and you'll find some loot on a corpse, which is another bloodstone shard. So now our next stop is to speak to the little girl to collect the music box. If you missed the Madman's Knowledge earlier, there's one here and a few enemies to fight. So here is an example of the sword spear's great moveset. You can use a charged R2 in its transformed mode to set up backstabs from a safe distance. So here we have the young Yharnam girl. Later on in the game you can choose to send her to the chapel or the clinic to save her, but for now the important thing is getting the tiny music box for Gascoine. If you're doing a blood tinge build that will use the cannon, I'd recommend sending her to the clinic, as when you find her there she drops a formless Udum rune, which stacked with the others can get you an extra shot out of the cannon. As you make your way up onto the bridge here, check on your left. Behind these statues you'll find a bloodstone shard. Head down the opposite staircase where you'll find 2 more. One is behind the sandbags at the back there, and there's another on your right behind these barrels. We're now well on our way to being able to have a +2 weapon. Make your way down into the sewers here and clear out these beastmen. The easiest way to do so is to just parry them, as you can see on screen. There's another spear-wielding beastman here, guarding the hunter's set, but if you stand here and wait long enough, he'll turn around, which gives you an easy opportunity to backstab him. The item he guards is the hunter's set. Not many people pay attention to this, but the jump in defences from the starting gear to the hunter's set is actually pretty big, and makes a big difference in the early game. As you make your way through the sewers here, you'll find a tunnel on your right with a bloodstone shard in. Now we just need to make our way up the ladder and open the shortcut. We could head straight across the bridge now and fight Gascoine, but we're trying to make things easy on ourselves. We'll kill the Cleric Beast first, which will give us some levels to make the fight easier. You'll find the final bloodstone shard on a corpse here. If you found all the ones I've pointed out so far, you'll have enough to upgrade your weapon to +2 when you head back to the dream. Make sure you use a madman's knowledge before you head back though, so the doll's awake. Spend your blood echoes, upgrade your weapon, and head back here. Head back into the building we unlocked earlier, kill this guy, and then kill his friend in the chair. His friend in the chair always drops 4 quicksilver bullets, so if you ever need to farm, he's the guy. These pungent blood cocktails are really useful for a boss we're going to discuss in the next video, so make sure you pick them up. Make your way to the left and the end of the bridge here to fight the Cleric Beast. Now just to let you guys know, on the playthrough I've been showing you so far, the Cleric Beast kind of trolled me a little bit, so I'm showing you footage from another playthrough, but this playthrough has the exact same stats, items and everything else, it's all the same. As you can see here, if you use this strategy you don't even have to go anywhere near the boss, you can just throw items at him from a safe distance. If you're lucky and you hit him in the head a few times you'll get a visceral, as you just saw there. The point of this strategy is that no matter what kind of build you're doing, it doesn't matter what you've leveled up into, this strategy will always work. If you hit every single one of your cocktails and oil urns, you'll actually never have to hit the boss with your weapon. However, I miss a couple at the end here as he jumps around. So there it is guys, easy as that. Like I said before, if you don't even miss any of your cocktails or oil urns, you don't even have to hit the boss. So let's head back to the dream and spend our blood echoes. You can spend your blood echoes on whatever best suits your build. I'm trying to keep this build general so it can fit for anyone's build later on, and Vitality is actually a really great stat to put into early game. We're not using our weapons and scaling stats for that much damage anyway. Make sure you pick up the 4 Molotov cocktails from your box here. Head back down the bridge, take a right through the shortcut we unlocked earlier, and make your way over to the lift that we took up from the sewers. Stick to the very left side of the bridge here and you'll be able to run past all the hunters and the boulder with ease. These guys can be kind of dangerous if you fight them together, so pull one with a pebble, deal with him, and then deal with the other one after. Before we head to fight Gascoine, we need to make sure we've got a couple of things ready. Make sure that your Molotov cocktails and tiny music box are on your item bar, ready to be used. Now let's go fight the boss. As soon as you enter the fight, use the tiny music box. It stuns Gascoine for about 5 to 6 seconds, giving you enough time to run behind him and charge up a backstab. As he's standing up, get a few quick hits in, back off, and do the whole thing again. Sometimes you won't get the backstab, but the music box still gives you the time to deal a great deal of damage. However, in his second phase, things get more serious. Don't be greedy like I was here. Back off when you see him transforming and try to hit him with a Molotov cocktail. He's a beast now and weak to fire, so they do great damage. You can use the music box one more time to get some free damage in, but it only works once after Gascoine is transformed. He's much more evasive in this form, so hitting him with Molotovs can be difficult. You can parry him like I did here, but if you're not comfortable with parries yet, just play safe, avoid his attacks, and look for openings like the one I find here to get a few hits in. Once Gascoine is dead, grab the brooch from the left side off Viola here, and head through the gates into the chapel, making sure to collect the Blood Gem Workshop tool along the way. If you're not going to do the little girl's quest line, then you can just use the brooch now, and put the Blood Gem that you receive into your weapon. Well, that's it for part 1 of this guide. Go spend your blood echoes on whatever you want and come and find me in part 2, where we'll be clearing through Old Yarnum, Bloodstarved Beast, and heading through the Cathedral Ward to kill Amelia. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.